Welcome brawlers, I'm the Hermit and I hope you're ready for some discard action, because our commander today is Jecht, Reluctant Guardian. For 3 generic and a black, we get a 4/3 legendary human warrior with menace. When we deal combat damage to our opponent, we may transform him, and he becomes Vraska's Final Eon, a legendary enchantment saga nightmare. It's a 7/7, but the first 2 lore chapters are Jecht Beam. Each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. And its third lore chapter is each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. But this does not transform back into the front side like the dominants do. So for this deck we are building a Waste Not deck. We have we have 3 Tiny Bones, Tricked Thief, Bubble Burglar, and the Pickpocket. That way we're gonna be taking advantage as well with Waste Not and Tergrid, God of Fright, whenever our opponent discards a card, or in the case of Tergrid a permanent, we get to put it on play, or with the Tiny Bones we can cast it, replay it, or just draw a card. We also have 1 mana discard, Inquisition, Hopeless Nightmare, Mind Spike, Thoughtseize, and even Ruthless Negotiation. This is an exile rather than a discard, but it has flashback, and when we pay for the flashback cost, we draw another card. We're gonna be having Dabriel as well as Bandit's Talent to deal damage to our opponent when they are low on cards in hand. We're gonna be dealing 2 damage at the beginning of their upkeep. To make them discard even more, we have Oppression and Painful Quandary. In the case of Oppression, whenever any player casts a spell, they discard a card, and Painful Quandary is just our opponents, but they can choose to pay 5 life to not discard instead. Because we want Jecht to deal damage, we have Rev Tide Extractor. Whenever you attack, target creature gets Death Touch until end of turn. So Menace pairs really well with Death Touch, meaning we might be able to transform him. And we also get to exile a card from the top of our opponent's library, as well as a treasure, and we may cast the exiled card as long as it remains exiled. We are also playing the Ravenman and Swarm Saboteur. This allows us to keep the discard plan going while also giving us creatures. And because we're going to be making these creatures as well as Burglar Rat and Corrupt Court Official, we have a little bit of sacrifice synergies with cards like Pillar's Right, Sephiroth, Deadly Dispute, as well as both Rankle Master of Pranks and Rankle Pitiless Trickster. The Trickster, it has lifelink and haste as long as our opponent controls no creature, but when it enters, each player discards a card and sacrifices a creature. Also, whenever a player discards a card, he gets +1/+0 perpetually. Other than that, we have more sacrifice synergies, Invoke Despair. We have more sacrifice cards like Invoke Despair, Saga Sheoldred, and even Liliana of the Veil, which also discards cards. Speaking of Liliana, we have Liliana Waker of the Dead. She can plus to make each player discard, she can minus to kill a creature, and if we get to her ultimate, we can reanimate a creature every combat. We also have Liliana, the Red Hot General, and since we're also gonna try to hit our opponent a little bit, we have Geeks, Yokma Operator. Whenever we deal combat damage to them, we may pay 1 life and draw a card. And if we happen to have our hand full, we can pay 7 to discard and get cards from our opponent's deck. Other than that, a little bit of Black card draw, Cold of the Ring, Caustic Bronco, and Dark Confidant. For the rest, we have Removal, Winter Moon, and One Blood on the Snow. So that's the deck. Remember to subscribe, and for now let's head into the queue and teach our opponents a lesson or two. Jecht Dragon Claw. Jecht is gonna be trying to get both creatures and non-creatures in a single turn. Here we play a Tapland. So hopefully they play, well, hopefully for them, they should have a Mox or Mishra's Bubble, so they can play their commander into the 0 cost and they get a card draw immediately. Ledger Shredder. I think we get Caustic Bronco here. And next turn we can either Liliana or Tiny Bones and Bloodchief Thirst to kill the Shredder. And this is gonna name Human. Let's try the Thirst. If they counter it, we go to combat attack. Okay, counter spell. We need to attack first, and they play Tiny Bones. Okay, they bounce it. They grow the Shredder, so let's replay the Bronco then. They're gonna loot again. It's a land. Okay, it was connive, but same as looting. What to do here? Let's play Liliana, I think. Make them sacrifice. And I think it's gonna be the tracker then, since they are fetching. They just want the clue. And sacrifice, okay.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
So our opponent kills Liliana, play their commander, and nothing else. Okay, let's play Gabriel. He's gonna be drawing the aggro from our opponent. And I think we should get also a land out of the way. Got down. I don't think that kills anything here. So if we draw another land, we can either kill HQ with the Dragon Claw. No, kill HQ with Liliana. Sorry, we can pay for the world. And if not, then we should kill Ledger Shredder. Okay, so let's go for it. And the memory lapse it. Okay. Grizzly Bill. And they're gonna buff Bill. Okay, Ledger Shredder. If they have a non-creature here, then HQ is gonna go too big for us. Seems like that's not the case. Let's kill Bill, as it were. Okay, opponent is thinking about sacrificing their land to draw a card. But they choose not to, or at least not to for now.
Run now, and I might spare your life.
They destroy their own Eshki. Okay. They attack with the flyer, Liliana.
One more grudge for the list.
And here we play Tiny Bones. And then Hostile Investigator. And also every connive is gonna give us a card essentially. Because of Tiny Bones. Okay, Cunning Azure Scale. That's bad. Really, really bad. So let's see if we can draw something here with the Bronco. Swarm Saboteur. I guess that's not it. So it's Pierce Teaching, so another attacker. And it seems like it's gonna be Eshki. Yep. And good game. Against Yuna, Hope of Spira. I mean, at least we have Tiny Bones, so even though we're gonna be helping them a little bit, we might be able to take advantage of the cards they sent to the yard. Starfield of Nyx. Okay, that is a good one. Deafening Silence. Okay. I think we're only concerned about having 4 mana so that Yuna doesn't get anything the turn she comes down. And yeah, we don't mind the trade here. Ancestral Mask on Birds of Paradise. Let's get some cards with geeks. Okay, Invoke Despair. Yuna resolves. Pay 3 life. Or 2, we pay it. And yeah, opponent concedes. Good games. Against Ultima. Okay. Maybe we want more lands. So Ultima is gonna be trying to ramp because she Ultima doubles every mana they spend from their lands that is colorless. That means they're gonna be playing their payoffs in the deck. Eldrazi's, as you can guess, from the Emrakul sleeves. And yeah, big artifacts as well. Tome of Legends. That's a good one. So obviously if they don't have enough lands, they cannot get to their commander or their payoff. And that means our game plan is gonna be putting some real pressure on them. Now the question here is, Do we risk it? I don't think so. We're gonna play the tap land here. That way we're gonna have Shieldred next turn if they play their commander. Okay, Forsaken Monument. That is actually the worst for us. We play Aclasots and hope we don't get a big Eldrazi here. Because our opponent has 9 mana and that's enough for something that can kill us. Or at least win the game, even if it's slow. Okay, they cast Ultima and they get 6 mana. That's 9. So maybe they have a 10 mana Eldrazi. Who knows? Here they Mindstone, okay. Cityscape Leveler. Less okay. Let's get Shieldred here then. See what they sacrifice. And it's the Leveler. They can unearth it, which they probably will. They could also Dust Bowl to kill our temple. Slash Aclasots. And they're gonna be drawing a card each turn from their thumb. $17 mana. That's 20 mana. And yeah, that's gonna be counter spells galore, so good game. We are against Ultima. Okay, yet again. Yeah, they might concede early to this hand. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they actually played their wastes. Swiftfoot Boots. Franco and make you discard. The cycle goes away. Or maybe just the swamp. They are also playing Wintermoon. Mystic Forge. And they pay the life to get a land out of the way. So here we should have each player discard. And just that. Opponent pays 1 for their forge. And if they go to play their commander and equip the boots, we are gonna kill it. Okay, mirror shield. And Ornithopter of Paradise. Sure. It's their commander. They try to equip. They get on licensed hers. Okay. That's a Seedscape Leveler. It's gonna kill Rankle. Okay. Huh. But I mean, we're gonna give our opponent the card. Baleful Mastery, hit you. Then you discard both of your cards. Oh. Ruthless Negotiation. Another land. Oh, I still could activate. Never mind, I think we win this. Forgot about the second part of Tiny Bones. We exile it, it turns transformed. Opponent does that, and they lose 10 life. Good games, Ultima. I guess we got you back, even though it was probably another player. Good games. Roxa and Kunoros. This is a reanimation deck, and we need to be careful about making them discard. But hopefully if they discard enough, then they don't get to 6 mana. Otherwise, maybe if we get enough value, that would make up for it. And that's an Esper Sentinel. They cut down Dark Confidant. Let's see what they're playing with. Heraldic Banner on white. So play kicks. Saddle and hit you. Okay. And another opponent is ramping. That's not good. They are still... Well, they are not short on hand. Not in hand. And yeah. But at least they don't have a full yard here. Okay, so now we're gonna go for Yawgmoth. Hit you. Inevitable defeat. Okay. Wheeler's Rights in response. We get a land. We are gonna play Waste Knot and Burglar Rats. That's an Abacine. And they need another land in their yards. So if they have a fetch land... Okay, it seems like they don't. Here we play Jecht, and let's see. Maybe they are trying to play their commander here. They run it out even though they cannot reanimate. They have maybe a big creature. And yeah, we're kind of okay with Gix's command, but still. Okay, Wrath of God. Back to the command zone. And yeah, this is the Chrono turn, and they get Abacine maybe. No, they get called. Oh yeah, it's Abacine. Okay. So Gix's command. Return up to 2, each opponent sacrifices 1, and I guess 2. If our opponent doesn't have another creature here, we're gonna be able to shield it away, Croxa. Okay. Actually, let's play the rats here. Okay, that's a creature. Ooh, bridge the multiverse. Okay, I'm glad we got rid of that. And if we must, we will block with everyone. Actually, yeah, we must. Vexing Bubble. They cycle and they get a land or a creature. Kind of a hefty cost, but not if you remember the creatures were discarding and we got the other two with Gix's command, so was not the best, not the worst exchange rate. Opponent has a loot artifact. Okay. There are 4 more permanent types. Right now they have creature, artifact, they need another land. Let's get the bandits talent. And we're gonna play Sephiroth after combat. Here we don't transform yet. And let's cycle the Mind Spike. I guess that's maybe one of the reasons why we should play reanimate cards. We can get them from our opponent's yard. High Noon. Okay. We level up the bandit's talent. We're gonna attack, but not sacrifice. We're gonna take the 2 damage instead of 1. And I guess this is a good time to transform. We get a 7/7, and that might be close to lethal. Okay, let's pass. And yeah, opponent sees that we have a leading position and they concede. I mean, we kind of managed to pull it off. If they are a reanimator, discarding is kind of stacked in their favor, but we got the right cards at the right time. Good games, opponent. Good games. Against Gabriel Soulbroker. They are gonna be having deep removal, but also maybe they are a combo deck. If they get the right offer, they can essentially they get, I think the best one is gain 2 life whenever you draw a card, and if they get it, that means they can use cards like Peer into the Abyss, something like that, so that even the One Ring, essentially card effects that give them pretty much entire new hands for life, but in their case they don't have to pay the life, they gain it back. Okay, they make us discard. here we're gonna play Jecht, and if our opponent plays Gabriel, I think we have to Baleful Master it.
Let's tidy up in there.
Let's discard Dark Clazots. Okay, cut down. That was probably a better discard. And here we're gonna hit Gabriel. Okay, so opponent is gonna remove our commander. They make us discard, we send cut down.
Perish the thought.
They're trying to make Dark Clazots. We're gonna exile it. We draw the land, so we play Jecht again. Okay, that's Gabriel.
Well, I'd say it's
The
good
minus, we play Shieldred,
suffer. See if
and remove perpetual effects. Direction arena from opponent. So we get Rev and Tiny Bones. We get a land. Opponent is at 13 life. Only 5 lands, it seems. Which is still enough for a Wrath. Deadly Cover Up. Liliana, Waker of the Dead. Let's see if they have removal for her.
This battle is going to end on my terms. We're doing things my way.
Shieldred, okay. So yeah, I guess we need something really good here, and it seems like we don't have it, so let's concede. Good games, opponent. They really did in fact have all the removal. Goshintai. That's the Shrines deck. We're gonna be slow. But we can get Territ, Gix's Command, Blood on the Snow. Opponent went down to 6. So yeah, as long as they don't play too many shrines that we cannot kill, we should be okay. Okay, they play some ramp. We get a rat. Now we're hoping for another 2-drop or a 3-drop in our next draw. But okay, but we should be fine. We have Jecht, probably Gix's Command, and then Blood on the Snow, if need be. And if they play their creature shrines, we would like that better. Okay, that's not one of our creature, no, one of the creature ones, but it's not one of the worst ones. They can discard a land or a shrine to deal X damage. In this case, it's 4 for now. I think we're gonna play their grid as the lantern. Just because they cannot kill it with the shrine. Okay, Supreme Verdict to the yard from opponent. I think they wanted to reanimate something, but since they couldn't, I think that this means they... Okay, I thought that meant they had a reanimation spell. I guess we play our commander. Or do we? Yeah, why not? We want something in the yard for Blood on the Snow, so... And they have Sanctum of Stonefangs. Okay. They do kill Jecht. Rejected. Great Aromancy. And that's a Winter Moon. Okay, for now, let's play Blood on the Snow, destroy all creatures. We get our commander back. And next turn we can play Winter Moon as well as Gix's command. Well, okay. To the command zone. Let's get Winter Moon. And Shieldred. Opponent has 4 mana each turn, which isn't actually that bad. They can still play 1 shrine each turn. Search for glory. But they can a snow, permanent, or legendary, or a saga. They get a shrine. Okay. So here we play Liliana.
I'll have this fight finished before brunch.
Play Jecht, and we pass. This costs 1 less for each shrine. Okay. kill Liliana.
That's my cue to leave.
So this is 3. Let's mine spike. Gonna draw. Tiny Bones, Bubble Burglar. Yeah, it seems like they want to tap Jecht. That means we're gonna be dealing 6 damage to them every turn. And that's the commander, so they cannot use the Sanctum. Lifelink and sacrifice the creature with the greatest power. It counters on Shieldred. Okay, yeah, we were gonna gain back a bunch of life. Hit our opponent, transform our commander. And good game. Against Tybar, and this hand is not it. Negotiation, Thoughtseize Ravenman. So, okay. That is... it might not be too much of a trouble, but Valentine, if an untoken creature would die, exile it instead. Then you may pay 2 and make a pest. So why do they play it with Tybar? Maybe just for the graveyard hate. Because Tybar wants to activate abilities for... Okay, maybe they are just Golgari mid-range since they have Kirk. Glimmer Hoarder. You pay 2 life. Oh, lose a life and draft a card. Not too bad actually. So let's kill it. 4 a card and 3 life. Okay, opponent Boyuka box, that gets rid of our negotiation. Spectacle of Destruction. Okay. Human, Ravenman, and Thoughtseize. Now we're gonna have a creature we can sacrifice. Okay, Sonia Nightmare. We can use the bird to exile Tybar or even White of the Reliquary. Opponent kills out Path of the Dead, which, since they are not playing blue, it's not that big a deal. Dragon Sniper. Okay, they hit us for 1. Here I'm afraid we make you discard opponent. Tybar. And if whatever they get back, we're gonna sacrifice. We're gonna exile with Final Vengeance.
Rally, my friend.
Okay, it's the white. And they're gonna be drawing cards from their Spectacle from now on. First we need to kill Tybar. Okay, they let it go. If they block, they would get another wreck counter, I think. Yeah, wreck counter. But as it stands, they only get the one, which is still good enough. Don't get me wrong. Hope of Girapur. No blocks. And you discard again, opponent. No attacks. And negate Tybar again.
They'll talk about this fight for centuries. It's not a victory.
They sack their Hope of Girapur and... Do they get it back? No, they get back Souls of the Lost. So I think we might jump block here, the Souls.
Show them what you're made of.
I think they might have us here. But let's see what they got in their hand. Veil of Summer. Okay. And good games. Ruby, Daring Tracker. I like that we have Phyrexian Arena, so we should do okay. Let's see if the card advantage is enough to win this one. Ruby is a mana dork, and she gets bigger if they have a creature with power 4 or greater, so they're gonna be aggressive, I think, and have big creatures, obviously. Now the question is, do we let them ramp here? Well, depends on their turn 1 play. Okay, we drew another piece of removal. And because we're gonna be wanting to go 1 for 1 with our opponent's cards, we're gonna be playing Arena next turn. Goblin and Archomancer is the discard. They get Ruby. Also, because of Nykthos, the arena is gonna be even better for us. Dustbowl, okay, that's an answer to Nykthos. Huh, so they are a land destruction deck, it seems. Let's kill Ruby then. Oh, my mistake. That's not at all what I wanted. Chromox. And gold spam dragon. Let's get that dragon off the board. And I guess it didn't matter if we killed Ruby, they still have plenty of mana, so still hurts that we didn't get the 2-for-1 with the Rider. Stone Rain. And you use the Dust Bowl. Bloodstone Golem. Okay, let's get Dark Confidant. And if they attack with their Golem, we're gonna block with the Rider. I mean the Rider and the Court Official. Tectonic Rift. Creatures can block this turn. Okay, so we're not gonna block. Let's go to combat. Attack you. Sorry, attack with you. Because this needs to emerge from artifact. So, as a matter of fact, I think we're gonna kill the golem. But first, we might bait them into attacking. Okay, let's kill the golem then. If they attacked, they would get a trigger. But we would... okay. It would happen either way. I was wrong in keeping that up. It only checks when it attacks. It doesn't double check like some of other similar effects. So let's lock Twin Scorn on Ruby. Get some life back. And there we are gonna make you discard.
The mask is scary, but underneath I'm just a normal diablo. A mind is a terrific thing to waste.
If we do get to 6 mana, we're gonna play Liliana and sacrifice the Dark Confidant.
Ugh, what a whiner.
Opponent's gonna play Ruby. Okay. So I guess if we get Blood on the Snow, we die. Invoke Despair. Close. Close.
If I were you, I do quite enjoy necromancy. Time to get yours will be a fate worse than
Don't think you'll be needing that.
And we're gonna be dancing around 3 life. Okay, obviously. Thoughtseize has got to go.
Struggling? Good.
And the opponent concedes. They were a little too aggressive with their land destruction. And in the end, it turned out that Phyrexian Arena, getting us to hit our land drops, really was key. Not in the way I suspected, but still very important card. An opponent just couldn't keep up with destroying their own lands. Actually, they didn't destroy any of their lands, they just didn't have more ramp. So they were stuck at that low mana. I guess good games. Okay, I mean, Island Destruction deck without no lands themselves, kind of ironic. Good game, Ruby. Okay, against Black Bolts number 3, and I remember this opponent. The Historic Brawler. So Black Bolts is going to maybe add the Yaraborn deck. Whenever you cast a non-creature, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. And for anyone keeping track, that's twice as much as you would get from your regular black mages. Pilfer, they're gonna take, I guess, Crabomination, since everything else is a removal. They are more or less interchangeable. Maybe feed the cycle since it's the most efficient by the fact that it is an instant. They could also be a discard deck. Or at the very least it seems like they have plenty of interaction here. Maybe a handful of removal. Call against command and we discard Feed the Swarm. Coruscation Mage. That's essentially another black mage token. And they paid for Offspring, so it's actually 2. Opponent. Okay, they also get Chromox. And Shock under the Mox. We're gonna play Tiny Bones Jones up, get rid of their last card on their hand. Yeah, its Burn spell goes to our face. We're gonna kill your little otter. Go blank, okay. We have no hand, but we get our commander. Get Devil out of the way. That's nice. But it seems opponent has even more removal. Withering Torment. We have Bandit's Talent. We need to level it up so we can start drawing some cards. Opponent gets a Mind Stone and their commander. So let's see if they draw removal here. It seems like they do. Let's concede here. Against Tifa. And we don't have that much removal, but we have this card and 1 piece of removal. Against Tifa, you technically can beat her if you have all the removal you possibly can, or at least maybe like 2 or 3. That's usually enough to stop her. Here we're gonna under city plunder, see what they discard. It's Harrow and they let us take Bridgeworks Battle. Okay. I think they shouldn't play Tifa here. Okay, they do. And they have priority because Flare of Cultivation, but shouldn't be too much of a problem for us. Thoughts is we're gonna take the Flare. And we're gonna pay 3 lives, kill Tifa. Here they're gonna play their Druid. And I guess we play Jecht on our turn. The good news is they are running low on lands or cards that they can get lands. But the bad part is we no longer have removal for Tifa. Okay, so here we're gonna cut down on loot. Then we're gonna mind spike you. Blossom in defense. And we're gonna attack with Jecht. Transforms, so we get a 7/7, you discard your card. We get a land. Okay. And now your opponent needs something big here. Okay. So maybe Escape Shift is their win here. Otherwise they're gonna have to sacrifice 2. That's not Escape Shift. And then we're gonna make them sacrifice another 2 with Liliana. Let's take the damage here. Actually, we can keep our investigator. Yeah, let's keep it. And we send our commander to the command zone. I was thinking if we use the command to get it back. But it doesn't really matter. And if they decide to sacrifice their terras, they wouldn't get Tifa big enough to not die. And we get to see why Call of the Ring is especially good in this deck. When you are playing a discard deck, this allows you to essentially draw and discard the cards you don't want in your hand. As long as you have the ring at 2 or more, and obviously a creature to be your ring bearer. And we have Fatal Push. Opponent is not gonna like that. Maybe they concede here. Okay, they're fighting the good fight. Human. Make a clue, sack the clues. And we send away acquisitions experts. Okay, yeah, opponent concedes. We were gonna hit again with Investigator. And if they had Tifa, maybe we were considering minus Liliana. We draw 2 cards, kill Tifa, but we lose our Investigator. Either way, good games, Tifa. Good games.